spice it up a little bit, stir up.
Let's go. So look, we're talking about the national championship. We're talking about the greatest coach in college football. I think we're past
Kirby Smart.
The asterisk of arguably has gone. Right? There is no more arguably. Nick Saban is not. It's not Kirby Smart. It's not Kirby Smart. Nick Saban is no longer arguably the greatest coach in college football. He is the greatest coach in college football. Period. End of story. Ditto. Anybody who fights hasn't been watching.
Ditto.
So what if on a what if Wednesday, what if Nick Saban retires
after this? If he gets a W
this year,
what
if he's gone?
What else is left? I mean, it's crazy. Like, why would he leave? But why wouldn't he leave?
There's nothing left. You've already hit the upper echelon.
Like, how many more
times
are you going to win?
He's gone to the NFL. He hated it. He came back.
It's boring, dude.
He went to LSU. He won a national championship. He thought he was the next step was the NFL. He went to the NFL. He hated it. He said, I'm not going to leave Miami. He left Miami in the middle of the night. He came to Alabama, minus the first couple years where he had to get through some growing pains. He has been the king of college football ever since. And we're talking on like the Bo Schembechlers, the Woody Hayes, like the Bear Bryants. Like nothing has ever seen what he has done at Alabama.
Here's why it's not crazy.
Unbelievable.
Here's why it's not crazy to think about either, because a lot has been changing in the college football world. Not that he doesn't have a pulse on it, and not that he's not going to – like it's going to be a huge advantage, right, with the money situation and the NIL, right? It's going to be huge for him. However, I feel like with COVID stuff happening, right, rules are changing, how they have to operate, how they have to function. Again, it's going to benefit him with the transfer portal to a sense, but I also think it's going to be more of a headache. He's not going to be able to have as much of a control, right? It'll benefit, yes, but Nick likes to keep things kind of in a Loctite. You just, I mean, I'm not. Nick and I don't chit chat on. We talk like on Tuesdays every now and then, but you can tell the guy keeps his shit in a lock seal bag, right? So all of these things are going to be causing a little bit more of a thing he has to keep his eye on. It's causing more variables for him, and again, for what? There's nothing left to prove. It's like Tom. Like, what else do you want to do? But Tom is really trying to separate himself. Nick's already done that. Nobody's catching that guy.
Nobody's catching that guy.
Nobody.
Yeah, and to your point, look, the guys come in. He's dealing with a state of college football that he has never seen. Right? He's 70 years old. Right? He's not a spring chicken, but he's got his championships. He's got his legacy. He's dealing with NIL stuff, which is not like Alabama is like short of money, but then he's also dealing with the transfer portal, which means that he's going to recruit these kids, and then they're gonna go somewhere else if they don't end up.
Like I said, it's harder for him to keep a leash on these kids, right? Like before, he would keep like the reason why his depth is so big, because once they're committed, they're like, damn, I'm kind of locked. And again, they want to play for Nick. The guy has the lines of running backs. What's that guy from leaving now and going like, hey, I got a year or two under Saban. I feel pretty good. I'm gonna go dip now, right? I'm gonna go be the starting guy and show out and make my NFL stock even greater. I don't care about a championship. I just want to get reps, and I want to dominate whichever division I go to. I'll go to a little bit easier.
We talked about that earlier this week. Like, these kids are instant gratification now because there's money so quickly on the other side.
That's another thing. You go to a smaller school, but you're the star. That's more money into your pocket.
Yeah. Bo Strombo, or I think that was his name. He was the running back at Alabama, and I mean they ran this kid 40 times a game. And he was big. He was a 240-pound kid, but I mean they were running him and running him and running him and running him. And then actually when they got to the national championship against Clemson, he got hurt within the first quarter, and that's when the whole game against Clemson went sideways because they didn't have that battering ram. So I guess like it's kind of to that point. Are you going to have that kind of depth? Are you going to have the ability to hand that ball off to a kid 40 times? Because they're not thinking about, I'm going to go win the Peach Bowl. They're thinking about,
my future.
I need to make sure my knees are straight.
It's a stepping stone. It's a business decision. Yep.
But hey, just real fast before we leave that, just because in the grand scheme of what if Saban retired, let's just run down a quick just the fast ones of people who have coached under Nick Saban. We have
Okay.
Mark D'Antonio, Derek Dooley, Jimbo Fisher, Jason Garrett, Scott Lanahan, Jim McElwain, Mike Mularkey, Will Muschamp, Dan Quinn, Kirby Smart, Bobby Williams.
Lane
That one may
Kiffin.
not ring the quick bell. Yeah,
Lane
Lane
Kiffin.
Kiffin. And just real fast, in 2011, Billy Napier was an analyst for the one
Hey,
Alabama rolling
hey,
tide.
scary money don't make money, baby. You know what I'm saying?